Hello and welcome to the Snickerdoodle Knits YouTube channel. I am Jessica, the knitter and designer behind Snickerdoodle Knits, and in this tutorial I am going to talk about how to use a progress keeper to keep track of which side of the work you're working on. These are all examples of what is referred to as a progress keeper. A progress keeper is placed on the fabric to keep track of your progress in the pattern, or it can be placed on the fabric to show which side is the right side or the wrong side of the pattern. So you notice that all of these have a clasp that will allow you to clasp it onto the stitch. You do not want to use a stitch marker because your stitch marker would be left in your fabric, and you would have to be sure that you're using a removable stitch marker to remove that. So how you use the stitch marker, let's just use this one. Just go ahead and clasp it onto a stitch. And so then if you just leave this here, I always put my progress keeper on the right side of the fabric. So as I'm working, I always know that this is the right side of my fabric. And if I put my project away and don't return to it for a while, I still know that this is the right side of my fabric. Now, you can place the progress keeper on your fabric like while you're knitting. So let's say I just wanted to put it in this row. I could just put it on one of these stitches and keep working. Or what I usually do is I wait until I am 2 or 3 rows into the pattern, and then I go ahead and just clip this like I did before, just onto the right side of the fabric. So you can just leave your progress keeper on your project until the end of your project, and when you're done, you can just remove this clasp. And you're good to go. Now, of course, anything that you can just clasp onto your fabric will work just fine. So even something like a bobby pin that you can just clasp around one leg of a stitch, that works perfectly fine, just to mark what is the right side of your fabric. Now you want to be sure that it's something that's not so tiny that it will go through the fabric, because you don't want it to accidentally slip back to the back. You want it to stay on the front so you know exactly what the wrong side of the fabric is. Alright, you now know how to keep track of your right side. I hope you found this video helpful, informative, and easy to follow. If you continue to have questions, go ahead and replay this video at a slower speed, or leave your questions in the comments below and I will get back to those as soon as possible. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Snickerdoodle Knits YouTube channel for additional knitting content like this. I hope to see you around. Happy knitting!